Krishna Bhakti Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura-bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Kevalam Kalau Nasteva Nasteva regular kirtans not done.
It was already done.
Still Bandhana means again.
No, I don't know because you will not some time. It was 2 hours now.
Small kirtan. Radhe Jayo Jayo Madhava
Karuna
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vandeham Siguravo Siddhapadakamanam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Shabrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Samadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakham Nitamscha Vande Gurunisha Bhaktanisha Mishavatarakam Tat Prakashamscha Tat Shakti Krishna Chaitanya Sambhagam Vande Gurupadadvandam Bhakta Vrinda Samanvitam Sri Chaitanya Prabhum Vande Nityananda Sahoditam Sri Nandanandanam Vande Radhika Charanadvayam Gopijana Samayukitam Vrindavanamanoharam Gopijana Samayukitam Shri Radha-govinda Radhe Madanohan Radha-govinda Deva Radha-govinda Juki. I remember, I fondly remember many of the old sweet memories about my glorious beloved gurudeva, srila Bhakti Rakshaka Sridhara Deva Goswami, and also a great glorious Shiksha Gurudeva, srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj. I had the immense fortune to be having their darshan several times in my life. Having darshan of both these exalted devotees together many times. In Navadvip, Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mount, in the temple of my Guru Maharaj, as well as in Mayapur, Sri Mayapur Chandradai temple in Mayapur. I remember I was around 13. One day Sri Guru Maharaj called me. Just be prepared. Now it's almost the time for Swami Maharaj to reach our mat. He is soon going to reach our mat, coming here. So just be prepared. Prepared with flower and chandana to receive him from the gate. Because my Guru Maharaj was mostly in old age at the time, so he was mostly staying upstairs on his quarter, his apartment, and just smilingly told me, Nimai, just be prepared, get prepared to receive the great Vaishnava, my very dear God brother, Swami Maharaj coming now with a few of his disciples. So you all must, not me, only me, you all must receive him with full honor from the gate. And in this way, and as soon as you see, some of you should garland him, pay full pranam, and giving warm welcome, receiving him from the gate, and then bring him upstairs. Full honor. I was very delighted, naturally. So happy. Because I could sense through the feelings of my Guru Maharaj, I could sense that he was so happy. He was so happy to see, to receive his very dear God brother. So I could feel into Srila Guru Maharaj's sweet feelings, some feelings of joy that his very dear God brother, one of dearmost God brothers, now coming to meet him to his temple, paying visit to his temple to meet him. After a long time they are going to have a reunion. So I felt especially happy, feeling into the happiness of Srila Guru Maharaj. Okay, that special happiness, it was touching my heart. Although before that I never met Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj, but I became so enthusiastic, so eager to meet him by feeling into the enthusiasm, eagerness, loving eagerness of my Guru Maharaj to meet his dear God brother, dearest God brother. We are all prepared. At some point, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj beloved Srila Swami Maharaj. He arrived at Chaitanya Saraswat Mount. We all went running to the gate. Actually, just before time we were waiting, just in front of the gate, some in front, some inside the gate, temple gate, and as he arrived, our joy didn't know any bound. To have darshan of a pure Krishna. So he got down from his car, surrounded by some of his disciples, first day disciples, and describing about the first experience of having first darshan of Swami Maharaj. So he came down from the car, surrounded, accompanied by some of his disciples, and we duly garlanded him, also yes, paid pranam, and just welcomed him, welcomed. So I don't exactly remember. Maybe, it was a team, okay, a few devotees. So I offered very respectful pranam, and he first came to pay obeisance to the main temple of Chaitanya Saraswat. He loved to see the deities, Chaitanya Saraswat deities there. So first he came to, before the main temple of Chaitanya Saraswat, paid obeisance to the deities. The way Srila Swami Maharaj used to do, he would be standing before the deities for a while, having darshan, for a while having darshan with so much feelings, and then pay obeisance, full obeisance. And then at some point, he was taken up. He went up to see Srila Guru Maharaj. As soon as both the god brothers saw each other, they paid panchanga obeisance to each other. Remember, Srila Guru Maharaj was waiting upstairs to receive him. As Srila Swami Maharaj, Bhakti Swami Maharaj, came up and came close to Srila Guru Maharaj, paid pranam. Srila Guru Maharaj paid panchanga pranam. From his easy chair, came down. Both god brothers paid panchanga pranam to each other, and they were so happy. They became so happy to see each other. Of course, the chair was ready. Another chair was just ready with the asana and everything. So naturally, Srila Guru Maharaj gestured to him to sit on the chair. We all gesture by gesture requesting him to take the seat beside Srila Guru Maharaj. And then both the dearmost god brothers started having their conversation, personal conversation between each other. We, the disciples of Srila Guru Maharaj, and the disciples of Srila Bhakti Swami Maharaj, sat, took our seat very close to their lotus feet, both their lotus feet, almost sat together surrounding both these exalted personalities, and started watching, hearing about their conversation, very personal way, with personal conversations. It started in Bengali, remember, because both their mother tongue was Bengali. They both of them felt proud to speak in language of Lord Chaitanya. language through which Lord Gauranga spoke. The great book, exalted book like Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita manifested. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sri Chaitanya Bhagavad, many other beautiful writings and devotional songs, compositions, all manifested through this holy Bengali language, Bengali and Sanskrit, some also through Hindi. So now, both the God brothers just started speaking in a naturally loving way. Naturally loving way with so much joy. Some part English, some part Bengali. But often we noticed they loved to just speak in Bengali instead of English because it was their feelings of the way they have always related to each other in the past, normal way, speaking in Bengali. And some of his disciples are wondering what my Gurudeva, some of Swami Maharaj's disciples wondering what my Gurudeva speaking with Sridhar Maharaj in Bengali, we can't understand that, but our team could understand everything and read this. Of course, all being recorded, and they knew that later on they all could be translated into English and they could know about it. But from time to time, they also started speaking in English. They did speak in English. Before going into the explanation of how they got absorbed into the conversation, their own conversation, into discussing about the Harikatha, Guru Gauranga Katha, Krishna Katha, Radha Krishna Katha for hours. I also like to reflect on how I first experienced the chantings and singing of the Swami Maharaj's disciples also sitting on our temple floor, Chaitanya Shastra. Suddenly, they all sat together on the temple floor, Sri Chaitanya Shastra, just in front of the deities. And Swami Maharaj was not directly there at that time. They just put the tape recorder on. So Swami Maharaj was chanting, singing Mahamantra. And they used his recorded song like lead singer. So I was young, so I was just coming to listen to it, coming to the temple to see how they are chanting and all. Suddenly I heard, so Swami Maharaj was singing Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and they are all doing dua, they are all following. And that was for the first time we were seeing tape recorder in Chaitanya Saraswati Math, the temple. So we were wondering, some few of our Chaitanya Saraswati devotees were wondering, why is Swami Maharaj? He is singing. And as I came nearby, I did not see Swami Maharaj, but still he was singing. Then we realized, oh, it was recorded. He was singing through tape recorder. It's going on. First time seeing the tape recorder. The Indian devotees there. First he was singing, then all the disciples were just following and singing like that. That was interesting to me and many of us, the devotees, the brahmacharis and all the devotees, Chaitanya Saraswati Math, sang so nicely. I remember those days. Remember some of the older disciples of Srila Swami Maharaj, like Achyutananda, Ramanuja, Srutakirti. I was also remember a few others, I forgot their names. What? Hansavita later. Okay. Of course, Bhavananda Swami, Hansavita Swami, Jayapataka Swami, and Harikesha Swami, Jayatirtha Swami, Bhakti Swami, Subhak Swami, Sarvabhavan. Yes, many others, sometimes Bhagavan Das, and they all came. So, I did remember of many of them coming, accompanying Srila Swami Maharaj the first days. Anyway, that I remember that Achyutananda and Ramanuja became, Achyutananda and Srutakirti became my very nice friends in those days. I was very young, 13 or something, at that age. I remember. Both of them wanted to learn Bengali. Because for some time, for quite some time, Achyutananda and I also think Ramanuja lived in Chaitanya Shasana, and also later on they also lived in Kolkata, Chaitanya Gurudeva, under the Graces Center of PUJA Srila Bhakti Madhav Goswami Maharaj, and also guidance of Srila Bhakti Vallabha Goswami Maharaj and others. So anyway, while they were living in Chaitanya Saraswati, they became very eager to learn Bengali, to have the communication, because their Gurudev gave them some responsibility to stay there, learn the Indian culture, be trained up in Indian culture, and then helping others also to learn the standard behaviors, spiritual behaviors and all. And I remember Achyutananda also wanted to learn few Bengali words, Sutakirti, Prabhu, Achyutananda, Sutakirti, they also expressing desire, not only desire, they at some point literally started learning some Bengali ways of speaking from me. We both became very friends. So, nice older day memories. They continue to stay, taking prasad, learning. Srila, back to the point. Now both, what I was just speaking beforehand, both the dearmost God brothers now became engaged in their personal conversations, discussions about Harikatha. They remain engaged, they remain absorbed, speak Harikatha, discuss the topics about Mahaprabhu, Radha and Krishna for hours. And during their conversation, their discussion, they would often remember and quote their Gurudev, His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada. So I was watching, I was following that whatever Harikatha they were speaking, discussing between themselves, all doing it in relation to their great Gurudev. They were so living. All they were speaking, all in relation to their glorious Gurupad Padma Srila Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada. How he relished, how he relished such topics, these specific topics of Krishna Katha. So we realized both of them were so Guru-centered. There's so much their mind and heart and feelings, consciousness are so much centered around their great Guru Baba, Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada. Their mind, heart, soul, all filled with the divine consciousness, divine inspirations, all the divine wisdoms, devotional the wisdoms of our Siddhanta as presented by Srila Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada. Both of them are the embodiments of the Siddhanta, of the power of His Divine Grace of Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada. Felt that. So much love. And they will be speaking about their Gopal. So much respect and love and feelings. And through that appreciation, they are coming, again coming back to reflect, to engage on certain topics of the Krishna Katha. To relate to the discussion of Hari, Lord Krishna. Also remember, while he invited Srila Guru Maharaj to Mayapur Chandalai Temple in PUJA during the inauguration ceremony of this Mayapur Chandalai Temple. As a young personal servitor, I also followed Srila Guru Maharaj. Myself, Kinchan Krishna Das Babaji Maharaj, Radha-govinda Maharaj, and another person. All went together to the Mayapur Chandalai Temple during the inauguration ceremony festival. That was another beautiful experience. World of beautiful, special experience. The way he received Srila Guru Maharaj, the way Srila Bhakti Swami Maharaj received Srila Guru Maharaj almost from the gate, and then thereafter both of them shared the same Vyasasana and became engaged in speaking Harikatha there. We all know it from the video recordings and all. I was also there. I had the great fortune again to see both the exalted devotees accompanied by many other good-hearted devotees together. Also in Mayapur Chandalai Temple festival, inauguration festival. If only remember sweet kirtan, sweet Harikatha. And then after the Harikatha, the Swami Maharaj also took Srila Guru Maharaj up in the conference room there, in the Lotus building. There's a conference room, and then he was showing Srila Guru Maharaj and Kinchan Srila Krishna Das Babaji Maharaj about his worldwide preaching program through the projector machine. The projector machine, he was just showing Srila Guru Maharaj and Krishna Das Babaji Maharaj about the worldwide Harikatha to Harikatha preaching program. And I remember himself, Guru Maharaj, Krishna Das Babaji Maharaj, myself, all sitting together and watching. Deep open eyes, the video recordings of his worldwide Harikatha preaching program, how people are so lovingly, ecstatically dancing, different types of people, some of the brahmacharis wearing dhoti, some suited, booted, different types, some looking in hippie dress, all dancing together in the older days stage, what we see recording. All dancing together, and how they were dancing together, chanting, singing Hare Krishna Mahamantra, with very natural joy and enthusiasm, and thereafter how they also heard how the Swami Maharaj spoke Harikatha to them, and how they heard, how they were listening to. So then how his books got printed out, and everything was filled it's like a documentary, short documentary movie. All his books got printed and published and got distributed through his disciples. And how many of the people at large of the society are coming forward to buy the books. It's talking to the devotees nicely and just buying the books with interest and all. And then, so overall, and then thereafter how prasadam, the bhoga being cooked, and the delicious prasadam being distributed among the people at that time. People simply loved to eat the delicious prasadam, felt so happy. So he was showing all these swing. Srila Swami Maharaj, he became so happy to share all this experience with Srila Guru Maharaj. Srila Krishnadas Babaji was there. And Guru Maharaj was also so happy. Both Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj and Guru Maharaj became so happy to see this worldwide preaching program in such a beautiful way alive. I remember Srila Guru Maharaj immediately came up with some appreciation, words of appreciations upon seeing, as you are seeing that Harikatha preaching programs through that projector machine. It was giving sounds of appreciation. Srila Swami Maharaj was also releasing these sounds of appreciation. Like some joyful recognition from his own dear God brother, Srila Maharaj. This way, feeling so happy. I remember we were given a room very close to Srila Swami Maharaj's room there, another room. At that time, the building was not complete, whole construction was not fully complete in my future. But it was good enough to reside, good enough for accommodation. So Srila Guru Maharaj was given accommodation very nearby the room of Srila Swami Maharaj in Mayapur Chandra Temple. And as his young personal servitor, naturally I was also sleeping in the same room on the floor, bed on the floor, while Srila Guru Maharaj was sleeping on the bed. Yeah. This is personal attendant. So I got all these beautiful sweet memories in those days. I remember also Srila Swami Maharaj also spent sometimes a couple of days, nights in Navadip Chaitanya Saraswati Mount. In a small room, he was given accommodation in a small room, very close to Srila Guru Maharaj's apartment. Because in those days there is no so much facility. There was no any other room very close to Srila Guru Maharaj's room. There was only a small room on the rooftop of Natya Mandir, attached bathroom toilet facility. So you just go in, as Swami Maharaj had the attached bath facility. So he was given accommodation there. And Srila Guru Maharaj could easily go to see him, go to that room to see him, take care of him, just crossing one small bridge from his own apartment, from his own quarter, just crossing through the bridge and going to that room, which was on the rooftop of Natya Mandir. So then, after he spent one night there, Srila Guru Maharaj asked him, Maharaj, how do you feel about this room? It's too small for you. Too small for you. You're worldwide preacher, a stalwart preacher. You have received so fine accommodations, first class accommodations with more comfortable accommodation in many places compared to them. This accommodation is might be a bit austere. I looked at the Guru Maharaj, smiling face, saying, "No Maharaj, no Maharaj, this is Bhajan Kutir." I felt, oh, I was just living in a beautiful Bhajan Kutir, although small, but it was so nice. As soon as I came out of the room, in front I saw the temple domes, beautiful temple domes, majestic temple domes of Sri Chaitanya Saraswati. As I came little further, just on the eastern side, I could have darshan of the Mother Ganga, River Ganga flowing. The location of the room was a first class, beautiful location. As we came out of the room, in the western direction, you could see the majestic temple domes. And as he came a little further and turned a little on his right, in the eastern direction, there was a kind of stage. You had to climb up a little bit, just on the top of the Natyamandir gate. So, and he could directly have darshan of the beautiful river, River Ganga flowing. So had darshan of Ganga. And he said, and as he looked at the northern direction, he could see Srila Guru Maharaj directly there, his apartment, everything. And he said, location-wise, this room is first class, and I did feel it is a bhajan kuti. I absorbed in some bhajana. It was so beautiful, Maharaj, so don't worry that I felt uncomfortable to be accommodated in this small room. Okay, but my feeling was other way around. I felt a beautiful bhajan kuti, and I absorbed in bhajana mood. Under the shelter of Lord Nityananda, Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Panchatattva Guru. The Guru Maharaj was very happy to know. He loved that Guru a lot. Remember, Srila Guru Maharaj was very specific about preparing the special items of the bhoga to be offered to the deity, which would be preferred to be specially liked by Srila Maharaj. And upon knowing his favorite items, he immediately asked his disciples, other disciples connected to the kitchen department, to make the special items, delicious items of the bhoga offered to the deities, and then serve him prasad. And so Swami loved to taste delicious prasad cooked in Sri Chaitanya Saraswati. Sometimes during festival times, we found some of his disciples and some of European Western disciples would be loving the taste of sweet rice. In one festival, we found a delicious dal and sweet rice. Because of some Bengali ways of the cooking, some of the devotees could not eat all the items happily, the chili and it's too spicy for them. So they found out a few items very tasty and suitable. They found out one dal or some kind of dahi, Mr. Dahi. So, sweet rice. glasses in 2 hands while distribution going on. Because they could not eat other stuff, it was a bit hot for some reason, so they loved to eat paravannam and the dal or some of them yogurt, sweet yogurt. So in 2 katoras, 2 glasses in hand. And as the distribution was going on, distributed sweet rice and dal and dahi going on, they followed. On one hand, sweet rice, give me sweet rice. On the other hand, some dahi or somebody dal. Drinking sweet rice like this, and then as soon as it got empty, drank dal and then again wanting at the same time. Give me more, give me more. 2 glasses in 2 hands. It was cute. We love to see that, their mood of drinking sweet rice, eating sweet rice and dal and some sweet Indian yogurt, a very tasty yogurt. Okay. One hand while drinking in one hand, extending another hand, please give me, yes, yes, yes. And also, Indian ways, so generous, devotees are so generous. They will be giving profuse, take full glass, eat as much as you can eat, plenty. Little pieces of sweet memories, those days. And I also remember, so Swami Maharaj's sister, Mother Ma, used to call Pishima. Pishima means the sister of Gurudeva. Pishima. The sister of Gurudeva. Mother Ma. So she was known as mostly Mother Ma. So, the brothers and sisters, the Swami Maharaj and his sister were very affectionate to each other. I can see. When Srila Guru Maharaj went in Mayapur Chandrai temple there we also found Srila Swami Maharaj's sister there. We used to call Pishima. She used to have pot of Ganga water in her hand. And she would be sprinkling everywhere some Ganga water. Because in those days what happened, the Western or European devotees were just learning some sanctified ways of the Indians. Sanctified ways of how to cook, how to take care of the deities, how to observe the holy principles, principle of sanctity while cooking in the kitchen, while entering the temple, worship the deities. And they are just learning, they are not yet fully learned, not habituated to touching the feet. They are all learning, touching feet, or just touching any other thing and without washing hands. So there is a process of learning that the learning of all the principles of sanctity, principles of, how to say, the holy ways, of sanctified ways of dealing with everything, okay, relating with everything, Krishna consciousness. But she was, because all the devotees in the first place were not yet trained up, they were still going through the training. So they were not all the time following the Indian standard of the regulated principles of sanctity. So she found, because she was not used to it, so she found an easy way to sprinkle Ganga Jal and make everything holy everywhere. She was thinking, might be touched. She doesn't know, she's not sure. So she used to be carrying a little pot of Ganga water, sprinkling Ganga water and make everything holy, and then she was happy with that. Very affectionate way. But she was not telling others anything like that. Not that she was being very displeased or unhappy or chastising someone find someone not following the principle of sanctity so nicely, but she would be affectionately telling them affectionately to learn the Indian standard of sanctity. But whereas personally she was managing, because she was never sure which is sanctified, which is not. Every reference she is sprinkling Ganga water and we often saw both the exalted brother, exalted sister together speaking. Srila Swami Maharaj and I forget her name. Mostly she was known as Madanerma or Great Pishima. And when Srila Guru Maharaj was there, she was careful. She was taking special care of preparing certain special items favorite to Srila Guru Maharaj to be offered to the deities. Again, that's one of our Indian cultures. And sometimes she came to see Srila Guru Maharaj in Mayapur Chandra temple, also once or twice in Chaitanya Shashwata Navadip, and personally spoke with Srila Guru Maharaj for quite some time in Bengali. Oh, time is up. 2-3 minutes. Just 2-3 minutes. So, I just feel like anything. Looks like I have just started. I'm not even in the middle place. Just started the momentum. Okay, so we're going now. So much to speak about. I remembered how both the God brothers spoke Harikatha hours after hours, quoting from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Brahma Samhita, and deeply relished the Krishna Katha among them, between themselves. Remember the verses like Apiche Suduracharo Bhajati Mamananda Sadhudeva Samantapa Sambhakim Pavasito Hisa Kshipram Bhavati Dharmatma Shashanchantim Nigachati Kshipram Bhavati Dharmatma Shashanchantim Nigachati Kunteya Pratijani Nami Bhakta Pranashati Satam Prasangan Mavirja Sambhi Bhavanti Hitkarna Rasayana Katha, like verses like this. Beautiful verses, now time is limited. So they are moved where that of Vishwa Vaishnava Raj Sabha, when they started speaking, when they began to exchange Krishna Katha with each other. Okay? Like they are having the reunion, their mood was they were having get together, a reunion between these two beloved God brothers. And the way they observed in Krishna Katha, like it was found in Vishwa Vaishnava Raj Sabha, originally started by Srila Jiva Goswami Prabhu, under the gracious inspiration of Srila Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. Both of them, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Swami Maharaj, upholding the principle of Vishwa Vaishnava Raj Sabha. And from time to time, devotees, Krishna devotees would gather together, get together in Ishtagashti, okay, and having the loving exchanges, natural loving exchanges of Krishna Katha, to hearing and chanting, speaking, and inspiring others also to be in that spirit of the Ishtagashti, okay, spirit of having some spiritual and devotional get together in relation to Krishna, Radha Krishna, Mahaprabhu. And actually, after every Gaur Purnima festival, there used to be some Vishwa Vaishnava Raj Sabha sitting in Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math every year. And many of the Guru Maharaj's brothers would be gathering together in that assembly of Vishwa Vaishnava Raj Sabha, and would be sharing each other's feelings and revealing each other's views and tastes of their devotional life. The devotional life would be revealing, sharing their mood of bhajan and the views of their own siddhantas, certain specific, their own special ways of realizations of the siddhantas among each other. It's very beautiful, very beautiful. So, in these days also, the modern day also, we find Srila Bhakti Paramahansa Swami Maharaj also very nicely, happily engaged in promoting the Vishwa Vaishnava Raj Sabha activity. So nice to see that we all can have our own individual missions of Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but we must remain united together. It's called unity in diversity, or diversity in unity. This is very much required in our life to promote the life of devotion, pure devotion, or bhakti or srila. So, Saraswati Goswami, Thakur Prabhupada was a great harmonist. That's why he specifically named the English magazine as The Harmonist. Specially chose that title for his own English magazine, The Harmonist, to give us the message that we all need to become harmonist. Krishna devotees means to become harmonist in true sense. That's the mode of Vishwa Vaishnava Raj Sabha. That's the mode of Krishna Sankirtan introduced by Lord Chaitanya. The mode of Vishwa Vaishnava Raj Sabha, the mode of Krishna Sankirtan activity are same, identical, just different aspects. Ishtagosti. Today there is no more time. So today is the appearance day of our beloved Shiksha Gurudeva, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj, and also Nandotsava Day, the day of great festival for an occasion of Lord Krishna's appearance, advent in this world. Very, very auspicious day today. So, the connection of Lord Krishna's divine appearance and also appearance of a pure devotee, pure exalted devotee of Krishna, both combined together, unified together today. So, this most auspicious day will be wholeheartedly praying to His Divine Grace Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj and the beloved Lord, Supreme Lord Krishna Chandra, to bless us with His divine mercy, so that one day we can be engaged in eternal loving service to them, to the divine Kapil Sriman Mahaprabhu, staying situated in the center of Srila Guru Maharaj, all our Guru Varga, under the gracious guidance and shelter of Guru Varga such as Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj, my Guru Maharaj, and all other Guru Vargas. That would be our prayer today, so that we can attain the eternal loving service to the divine Kapil Mahaprabhu. With this prayer, I humbly remain here. The Arati is going to start. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.